Nigeria is a very large and very complex country. Nigeria is the largest African economy, the largest country by population, 250 tribes, 400 languages. That's something, that's Africa in a nutshell. 2015-16, oil price drop. We went into a recession, but we recovered quickly, and now it's a modest growth. Many people think Nigeria is an oil economy. That's partly true and partly not. Nigerian state is oil dependent. When it comes to revenues for the state, comprise of 90% roughly of oil revenue. When it comes to the economy, it only comprises 10% of GDP, of course, directly. Indirectly, it might include 25-30%. And if you look at the population growth, 2.6%, that means 4 million Nigerians net additional per year, and you need to cater for them. Jobs, healthcare, schooling, education, that's a challenge.
All commercial banks of this country only give loans of $1 million upwards. So as a small company owner, there is no way you can get a loan in any commercial bank in Nigeria. So the only place where you can turn, which treats you fairly, is going to be a microfinance bank. You have money lenders, but those have very high rates and very unfair conditions. So apart from microfinance banks, there's really nobody else.
And that's how businesses can keep going. Because if you deprive that business what is needed so essentially at that particular time, it might trigger off a closure of the business. Look, you can't carry on.
Well, we are the second biggest microfinance bank in Nigeria with 22 branches, with a portfolio of 10 billion naira, and also one of the oldest with 10 years. It means that there's a big service we do for the population of this country and for small companies. We have now a portfolio of close to 40,000 loan clients, close to 4,000 deposit clients, and we're really at the service of the small companies of Nigeria. The fact that we give to somebody, for example, $1,000, which results in an extra profit of $200 or $300, this can be the equivalent of 1 monthly income. So in a local context, this may mean the school fees for children. This may mean presents for Christmas.
But our typical clients would be mostly traders who would require a loan from us to stock up their inventory, to use the money for working capital, sometimes buy some fixed assets, invest in business equipment.
When we were dealing with the micro space, people have good ideas. So they need to have an avenue. We need to meet them at their place of need and say, okay, what are your suggestions, what are your ideas, how can we harness these ideas? Access to finance is very important. However, they must be able to understand what their businesses are and what they can afford or not afford.
Loan officers, they play an essential part in microfinance business model because those are the people who go out on the field. They are the first interaction meeting point with our customers.
To be a good loan officer, you have to know how to relate with people. So I make them feel comfortable, I respect them a lot, I listen, because most of them have some things to tell you. I'll meet people helping their businesses grow, and they're giving feedback that we are really touching their lives. So it's a great motivation.
The key of microfinance is the close contact between branch staff and loan clients. Well, the bank will continue to do what it does, lending to micro companies. It will become bigger and it will become better. So we invest in technology, invest in new branches in terms of the network, invest in more people. The people who we achieve the results with are Nigerians. So there's expats, but a very small team, and all of the other 980 employees we have are Nigerians. We treat our employees fairly. Everybody's having health insurance, everybody's having social contributions. Nobody's employed on an independent contract. And we invest in people. We provide a lot of training for the loan officers, for the client advisors. There's permanent retraining in all sorts of innovations that we're having.
So everything is just maximizing people's potential to meet set targets, to perform highly. On team building, we ask people to build house from scraps. We give them sheets of paper, cardboard, scissors, and to just make a construction of house. So we take note of things that happen while building the house. So soft skill is really a bedrock. How do you pass on instruction to people or pass on the plan to people? You still have to communicate. We spend on an individual between 5 to 10 days to train every year. And the middle managers also, they have quite a number of trainings.
So AB has given me a very high sense of responsibility because I've grown over the years and now I'm a branch manager. I now have a crop of staff under me that I have to manage, that I have to inspire, motivate. It has given me joy over the years to see these people grow from being training microloan officers to even branch managers like myself.
In 2014 was really the inflection point for the bank. In 2014, we started shaping our digital strategy, looking at 3 areas: physical and digital, touch point, operational efficiency, and also productivity. And then the last one, product innovation and business innovation. In this environment with the lower level infrastructure, the physical touch is still important in order to build certain level of trust. One of our habits is really to remain close to our customer because we want to engage with them. We want to know their life, their daily life in terms of business activity, their challenges. But at the same time, in doing that journey, we also want to experience the daily life of our loan officer. 7 years ago, the bank was completely into doing a microfinance in a traditional way. And then the goal was to start the evolution of the business model of the bank through the digital transformation. Today, for instance, the platform that empower our full digital transformation has been in-house, and then this is really a success story for the Nigerian market to see that we are able actually to build a digital business solution from Lagos and export it and share it with our sister bank in Africa.
The unmet credit demand in Nigeria is huge. So the microfinance will be the first gateway to meeting those unmet demands. I still see that a lot of female entrepreneurs across Africa, Nigeria is no different. They tend to be based in the micro space. So I think there needs to be some sort of progressive approach as to how do we move them from micro to small, small to medium, medium to large. That migration needs to happen for entrepreneurship to really have the kind of impact we're thinking of in terms of job creation and really reducing the amount of unemployment.
Well, Lagos is definitely not the easiest place to live in. It's challenging because of traffic, because of security concerns. The effort you have to put into planning each and every move. Still, I think what's the main point about Lagos that should be pointed out is the energy of the people.
You know, this is one of the most industrious and business-minded societies on planet Earth. And therefore, I am absolutely positive about the drive that will keep on moving Nigerian society and indirectly the Nigerian economy.